So this video is about how to make a scatter plot on a TI-84 Plus. A lot of kids in my class were asking me to make a quick video, so here's what I'm going to do. First thing we'll need to know is this button right here, the stat button. That's where we go to get into our lists. Our lists are where we put all of our data and all of our numbers. So we'll hit stat. Remember, you can pause this at any time to write your notes down, or you can go back and review this video. It's really nice to use this video to go from this point on. You go ahead and hit enter, or go into edit on the screen. You see it says edit right there. So I go into edit, and right now my list has data in it. So I can delete it two different ways. I can go up to the list. So I've highlighted the actual list by hitting up. I can hit clear, and you notice that in the entry there's nothing left. I hit enter, and that list is done. Another way that I've taught kids to clear the data on a calculator is just to clear the memory. So I'll show how to do that. You go second plus, which is memory, and then 7 is reset. So I hit 7, and I want to reset all the RAM. So then I hit 1, and then 2 will actually do it. So 2, and now you can hit enter or clear to get out of that menu. So to go back into my lists, to put my numbers in, I'm going to hit stat, and then we go into edit. So now I have an empty list 1 and an empty list 2. So in this problem today, we're looking at the difference between, or what happens to your math scores as you miss more school. So is there a connection between absences and math scores? So the absences, this column is going to be like my independent variable, or my x value, or my list 1. So I'm going to put all of those numbers in list 1. And to do that, I just hit 3 because that's my first number, enter, then it goes to the line below it. So then I hit 5, enter, and then 1, enter. Now I'm going to push pause on the video and enter them all in, so you don't have to watch me do that. So I entered all of my absences into the list 1, and it's really handy. You can see that if you highlight the last one, it tells you how many entries there were in that list. So there are 22 entries in that list. So now I'm going to hit the over button and go to list 2. Now I can put in the math scores that correspond with my absences. So across from this 3, I'm going to put 67 in my list 2 and hit enter. And then across from this 5, I'm going to put a 49 and hit enter, then 96 and hit enter. I'm just typing these in right now. I realized I probably didn't have to push pause earlier. Now if this worked out right, both lists should be exactly the same length, and they are, so that's a good thing. We need both lists to be exactly the same thing. So now that we have our numbers in our lists, we have our x value ready and our y values ready. Now we need to go into our stat plot menu, which is in blue above the y equals sign. So to get into anything blue, you hit second and then go to stat plot. And now I want to get into this stat plot menu by hitting enter. Now you can see that the first stat plot is selected as off. The cursor's on, so I'm going to hit enter, turn that cursor on, or turn the stat plot on. Now this talks about what kind of line to put in, and we have 2 values and we want a scatter plot. So just with dots, so that's good. My x values are list 1, and my y values are list 2. And let's go to the biggest mark, it's the easiest to see. So everything looks good. So now I need to make my window, the window of the graph, big enough to get all of my data in there. So I hit window, oh, that's fun. I don't know what that is. Let's quit out of that. Now hit window. Oh, that's much better. So I quit out of it, then I hit window. My x values, my smallest value in here is 0. So for x min, I'm going to put 0 because it's the smallest value. Now the largest x value is 11. I'm actually going to make it 12, just so it's big enough, our window's big enough to see all the dots. The scale is by 1, that's totally fine. Now the math scores, the lowest math score looks like a 10. I'm just going to put it in as a 0. I need a small enough y value that all my numbers fit in. And the largest y value, the y maximum, is 100. So let's just go 110. That's not 110, that's 100. There, that's 110. And for a scale, since we're going from 0 to 110, I don't know, let's go a scale of 10. So now, if I hit graph, we should see a graph with our x values and our y values and a whole bunch of dots. Let's see if this works. Oh, great! This is really cool. It looks like a negative correlation. It looks like a pretty strong correlation. Maybe a correlation coefficient of negative 0.8 or negative 0.9. Some kids would even say it's close to negative 1. That'd be great. The more absences you have from school in this data, your math scores would go down. So that's how you make a scatter plot. There's a couple of things you can check if you have an error. If you have an error that says dimension mismatch, that means that your lists are 2 different lengths. So you'd go into edit, and you see my lists are 2 different lengths. So I'd go up to the longest one, and I'd delete it. Or I'd go through and make sure that I'm not missing anything, that I have all my numbers that I need. So that is a scatter plot. If you follow all my steps in a row, it'll make an awesome scatter plot for you. Make sure the lists are the same length. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. You can email me or talk to me in school. And that should be it. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys had me make this video. It was fun, and I like to see good relationships like this. See ya.